All right, peace and blessings, everybody. It's Friday, September the 1st, the year 2017. For those of you that have been keeping up, I did open up a path of communication with Bill White. I don't know much about Bill White. I did check out a couple of his books. One of them is called, I got them in front of me here. One of them is called Centuries of Revolution, Democracy, Communism, and Zionism by William A. White. The other is called The Tradition of Mother, the Aryan and Non-Aryan in the Near East and Europe, 3000 BC to 1000 AD, by Bill White. So I've read the first few pages. I can already tell that I'm not aligned with this gentleman's belief system. He's a strong believer in evolution. Looks like he goes after Zionism. He talks a deal about the Jews, and he talks about their ethnicity, and I'm not against the Jews based upon their ethnicity, which, you could call racism if you wanted to, but I'm against the belief of Judaism, which says that Jesus Christ is a bastard son of a whore, a lying false prophet, boiling in a pot of feces, as the Talmud says. So I'm against a belief system of Judaism, not an ethnicity of people. But regardless, Bill White, he's on the Southern Poverty Law Center, hate crime, domestic terrorist, everything else. They've got a write-up about him. It appears that he was once left-wing anarchist, and now he's swung violently to the right. I don't know what his latest status is. I did try to write him a letter, and I told him that I was a Bible-believing follower of the Lord Jesus Christ, and that I did not align with his belief systems on evolution. But I did say, how can people learn about your case? Why are you spending such a long time in prison? He has 20 years left. I asked him what they said he did. Well, anyway, I got my first email back from him. I'll read it to you guys. It didn't really address my questions. I think he's going to send me another email on my questions, but I'll just read to you what he wrote from Core Links. And keep in mind, even if I disagree with Bill theologically, or we share different belief systems, I'm still interested in why they put him in prison. I don't want even an atheist to sit in prison for a crime they didn't commit. I mean, I do believe that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so I'm interested in his case. I mean, anybody who makes the Southern Poverty Law Center radar is kind of interesting to me. He's also in CMU Prison, and I'm just interested in his story, even if I disagree with his books or his ideology. Regardless, let's see what he has to say. This is, well, it's not my first email. Let me read you guys my first email. This one is my first email. It says, "Hello, Mr. Davis. I received your letter and am sending a response out today. Let me know if you received this email," which I did. Thank you, Bill White. So that was proof that we have established a communication path with Bill White. This was my second letter that I got from him. That's too big. Let's read what he says. Legal update. Why the BOP, Bureau of Prison, owes me $20 million. Legal update. Hello all. For those following the SD, South Dakota maybe? Illinois, SD, I don't know what SD stands for. Illinois lawsuit against the BOP and USMS. What's USMS stand for? I spent the day today pulling cases in which people have suffered injuries similar to my own, and the damages have generally been very large. As such, I have put together a brief on the issue in which I show that, without even relaying on the high end of damages awarded in comparable cases, the BOP caused me an arguable $41,111,160 in pain and suffering, not to mention other damages, of which I can recover $20 million in my current suit. This is how it breaks down. One count, trying to freeze me to death and otherwise harming me in 2008, $2,268,200. $1,235,000 for 247 hours of exposure to painful, life-threatening conditions of confinement at $5,000 per hour, low-end figure in Seventh Circuit, $1,033,200 for 63 days of exposure to RES conditions causing serious neurological damage. What's RES stand for you guys who know? At $16,400 per day. I have a real good SHU. SHU stands for Special Housing Unit. I have a real good SHU syndrome case on this and a good backup case from the Seventh Circuit. Count 3, torture with light, attempted murder by dehydration in 2014, $23,540,000. $1,500,000 for attempted murder by dehydration, $22,040,000 for 4,408 hours of exposure to painful conditions of confinement at $5,000 per hour. Count 4, 10 days in Special Housing Unit for bogus investigation, May 2009, $16,400 a day, $164,000. Count 5, Special Housing Unit confinement after my 2012 arrest and black box in transit, $787,680. $787,200 for 48 days of SHU confinement, $480 for 16 hours of black box confinement at $30 an hour. Count 6, SHU confinement for 8 days in transit, 2013-2014, $131,200. Count 7, SHU confinement for 4 days in transit, $65,600. Count 8, SHU confinement for 3 days in transit, $49,200. Count 9, SHU confinement for 13 days in transit and black box, $213,680. Count 10, SHU confinement for 44 days in 2015, $721,600. Count 11, SHU confinement for 10 days in black box, $164,480. Count 12, black box in transit, 2015, $240. Count 13, in my amended complaint, 107 days of SHU confinement in 2010-2011. $1,754,800. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, neurological damage, and insanity for 75 months. $6,250,000. I have a SHU syndrome case where the damages were $1 million per year for each year of insanity. Continuing mental harm for 50 years until the end of life, $5 million, estimated at $100,000 a year for each year. So that's $41,111,160 before economic, medical, and loss of normal life damages. Now, I don't have any of this money yet, and I don't expect to have it anytime soon. I expect the United States to fight to the last. Though a settlement for less than $20 million is very possible. And if the U.S. fights to the last, it could take years to get the money, which is why I'm currently scrounging for $2,000 to cover my current court cost in various actions. But that is where this case in the Southern District of Illinois is going. Oh, remember when I asked what SD meant earlier? I'm pretty sure now it means Southern District. It's a lot of money, and it took me sitting down to really research it to realize how much is involved. With luck, the court will be recruiting counsel for me soon, and all of this will become much less taxing on me personally. The attorney in the case can receive up to $5 million, so if anyone knows an attorney who wants to make some money, let me know before the court recruits one. Thank you to everyone, Bill. Okay, that's Bill White, this guy right here. Like I said, I don't know that much about him. I have a couple of his books. I'm not really inclined to read them because it starts off very heavy in evolution and genealogy and things that I don't agree with. But nonetheless, I am interested in Bill White as a person and what he was charged with and why he is in prison and how long he's been in prison. If any of you guys have, what's that website called? I think it's called overthrow.com. This was his old website. It appears to be not working right now. If you click on anything, it gives you error messages. If I click on the About section, as you can see, it just sits here, and then it comes up with this error message at the top, fatal error. So whoever's maintaining his website is not doing a very good job. That's all I got. The last line of peaceful defense between a tyrannical government and the defendant is jury nullification.